Hey everyone, I'm Diana Davison, advocate for the falsely accused and wrongfully convicted. Now, I've been following a story for the last few months about two men who went to Cuba for a vacation and ended up stuck there for 10 months on a false accusation of sexual assault. The men are police officers from the greater Vancouver area in Canada, and their accuser was a young woman from Ontario. So this was 3 Canadians on vacation down in Cuba, and only one of them was allowed to come home. Yes, this young woman made a false accusation, then flew her little butt back to Ontario while the 2 men were stuck in Cuba, waiting for trial and hoping for justice in a foreign country, and a trial held in a language they didn't understand. This woman could waltz into a Cuban police station, make her accusation, then fly home with no repercussions, putting a whole bunch of air miles between herself and her actions. Facing trial on false accusations is scary enough when it's in your home country, but at least you have resources, family, friends, and some kind of support. At least you have some understanding of the legal system that you're facing. Not so for these 2 police officers, suddenly a victim of injustice. I always wonder when false accusations happen to police officers if things will change once police find out how easily this could happen to them too. Right now, there is public and media pressure on police to lay charges as often as possible in sexual assault allegations without doing a proper investigation. And it's my understanding that there's not much that the police can do about it without risking their jobs. But at some point, and maybe I'm just a dreamer, at some point, enough people will be personally affected that they will start standing up against the ideologues. You know, those activists who are reshaping our justice system by removing the justice part. This is the recent statement from the men's families now that they're back on Canadian soil, having been acquitted unanimously by a panel of 5 female judges in Cuba. These innocent victims of a malevolent lie are at long last home with their families. This last step happened unexpectedly quickly. Words cannot express our profound gratitude for all the support you've given us in so many different ways. But how much public support will they get? There is a certain amount of schadenfreude that follows police officers being arrested. Many people who subscribe to my channel are victims of false accusations who know that their nightmare begins when police fail to do proper investigations. And when I report on a cop being falsely accused, the visceral reaction tends to be, good, let's see how they like it. My reaction is always the same. No one should have to endure this. The reason people don't understand the trauma and the horror of false accusations and how easily it could happen to them is because they always think the accused did something to deserve it until it happens to them or someone they care about. Now, I'm happy to report that these young men were able to safely return home, but I'll be happier when false accusations are treated more seriously and investigated properly before charges are laid. I hope these 2 men are able to return to their lives as quickly and smoothly as possible. I know they'll never forget what happened to them, that it happened even though they were innocent, that they were helpless and at the mercy of the courts, praying for a fair trial, praying for an impartial judge who would see the truth, that they were just like countless other men who are falsely accused, and being a police officer didn't help them at all, and hopefully their experience will make a difference. Meanwhile, absolutely nothing will happen to the woman who falsely accused them. For her, it was just a short vacation in Cuba.